Hello, everybody. Let's see. Can I be heard? Let's just pop in here. This is the second live stream, and although you might not be able to tell, in fact, we have already done one, and it has completely failed. So that is too bad. But anyways, hello. This is the intro done by a person live. How's that? For those who are wondering, this is not the 20 something or other subscriber special. This is actually something a little bit different, and I've even whacked on my 240p webcam so you can see me talking about the F1 awards, essentially the Oscars of F1, because why not? And for legal reasons, this is nothing but water and not a beverage from any other company. And if you do notice this label here, other beverages can be bought from other places. Just got to be, all legal. Anyways, I think let's just see here. We got people trickling in. Shall we start? Let's see. First thing, I'm going to want to. Yep. Okay. And perfect. Okay. Anyways, let's start with the first award of the evening. Wish I had some music. Sadly, I don't. Anyways, Feeder Series of the Year. ASMR. Anyways, the first nomination for Feeder Series of the Year is the W Series. You can look that up. That is essentially Formula 3, but the series pays for all the drivers to do it. So essentially, it's completely free and no need for drivers to put in their own money. So that's sort of cool. And yeah, and anyways, so the next nomination is Formula 3 itself, the actual version of what the W Series is. And, why not nominate that as well? It's the second step before Formula 1, before, you have, maybe you can do the W Series, then you have Formula 3, then Formula 2, then Formula 1. But logic states that the next nomination is Formula 2. So Formula 2 is the final nomination. But this year's Feeder Series of the Year, let me just open my Oscars envelope. It is Formula 3 or La La Land. Oh, no, it's Formula 2. Anyways, Oscars joke for this, for God's sake. Why do I even try? Anyways, Up and Coming Driver of the Year. This is an excellent award because this is an award given to a driver not currently in Formula 1. They could be coming to Formula 1. They could not be coming to Formula 1. It's a driver, or eventually, a driver that should be coming to Formula 1, an up-and-coming driver in the junior formulas. So, the nominations for this, and for those who are wondering, currently nobody, but anyways, for those who are wondering, Rashab, the second founder of Technically F1, was supposed to be on here, but Zoom decided not to like either of us. So, they decided, nope, we won't allow a live stream to happen. So he had the glitchiest, laggiest live stream ever. Then he had to eat dinner. So you just have one founder of Technically F1 on. I think it's okay, but it'd be better to have both. Next time. That's the thought is next time. Hopefully. Doubtfully. Probably not. But anyways, let's get on to the up-and-coming driver of the year. Our first spot is Mick Schumacher, because he's a Schumacher and should be excellent. He won Formula 2, so he should be very good. Anyways, our next nomination is Jack Aitken. He recently drove a Williams in last weekend's Grand Prix, just testing for them. So that's cool. And the final one is the person who got third place in Formula 2 this year, Yuki Tsunoda. But the winner is, let's just see here, Mick Schumacher. Not really a surprise. If you're surprised, I'm not worried, but I'm also just thinking right, if you're surprised that a Schumacher would win an award, you'll be surprised then some of the other winners of tonight's extremely prestigious awards. Let's just keep drinking the water.
Okay.
Anyways, the next award is the Failure of the Year. Somebody who has truly failed in their efforts within Formula 1. Now, we've nominated for Shop9 two drivers, Valtteri Bottas and George Russell. Although Russell hasn't really failed. Not really sure why he's on the list. I think it's probably one of your founders playing jokes on you. And the Team Failure of the Year, although Chat, take a guess. Take a guess, chat. Somebody in chat, take a guess who'd be the failure of the year. No guesses? I just have one thing to say then. Anyways, failure of the year team winner is Ferrari. So who wins the really not coveted failure of the year award? Well, it's a bit obvious, isn't it? It's Ferrari. The team who got second place last year has fallen down to seventh place this year. I think you have to consider them a big failure. But anyways, let's continue on to the fourth award of the evening. It is for the Heritage Car of the Year, a car that has not been seen since the 90s. Essentially, that's what sets a heritage car, a car that has not been seen since the 90s. So you have the Honda RC100, a car that was not even raced, but it's still cool looking from the 90s. And if you're not already, you should just be looking these things up. Like, come on, people, stay interested in Formula One. What are you doing? But anyways, Honda RC100, that is your first nomination. Your next nomination is the Williams FW14B, which won the championship in 1992 and was driven by Nigel Mansell. If you need more fun facts, I'm sorry, I cannot deliver them to you. Sorry. Anyways, and the final nomination is the Jordan 1991 9191. Jordan 191. It's a little bit confusing, but no, whatever. And that was driven by, or run by Eddie Jordan, and driven by Bertrand Gachot, Michael Schumacher, and who's the other one who drove it? I gotta think about it. Chat, chime in. Who was the other driver who drove the Jordan 191? Whatever. Anyways, there were three drivers of the Jordan 191. So let's get on to the winner. The winner is, because I can't remember the third driver of the Jordan 191, the Williams FW14B, driven by Nigel Mansell and Riccardo Patrese. So there you go. You have your first Car of the Year award dished out. I know, crazy. Anyways, your Heritage Driver of the Year, somebody who currently does not race in Formula One. And there are two people, by the way, who are leaving F1 this year and can go up for Heritage Driver of the Year next year, the coveted award that I know just every single driver wants to win. There are actually three people now that I think about it. Kevin Magnussen, Romain Grosjean, and Sergio Perez. Three people who could win the Heritage Driver of the Year award next year. Will any of them win? Probably not, if I'm honest. There's so many good drivers that aren't in F1 right now. It's just going to be impossible. But once you've been nominated, you can never be nominated again. So eventually, I think, after a couple hundred years of doing this, we'll probably run out of drivers, if I'm honest. But anyways, the Heritage Driver of the Year. Take a guess, chat. Let's see here. Or not. Forget it. You don't need to take a guess. Sorry, I angered you, chat. Anyways, no. So the winner of the Heritage Driver of the Year is, quite obviously, because I already told you, Michael Schumacher. Because, why not? And yeah. Oh, actually, did I not even mention the other? No, I did already. Perfect. Anyways, the Car of the Year award. An award that goes to the best designed car of 2020. You have three nominees here. You have the Mercedes W11, the car that won this year, the Red Bull RB16, the car that is the most downforce, or the most improved car, the McLaren MCL35, has the biggest downforce gain from year to year. So it's impressive for that reason, I think. Maybe. Probably not. One ASMR minute later, we have our winner. It is the Red Bull RB16, because downforce is everything, and engines quite simply aren't in a Formula One. And if you think engines are everything, maybe you can win world championships, but technically your car will always be worse than the car that has the most downforce. Fight me in the chat, or not, because nobody's typed in chat. This is sort of sad. Hi. Let's just see if I can type something in chat myself. Imagine when you have only 4 comments and all of the comments are by one person. Imagine my face, chat. Anyways, we have now the even more prestigious. We're getting into the most important 3 awards of the year. The Designer of the Year award, the Trophy of the Year award, and the Driver of the Year award. And then this, hey, let's go. We have somebody in chat. This is exceptional. Pog. Let's go. So we have first the designer of the year. We have 3 nominations. First one, Adrian Newey. The second one for Mercedes is James Allison. He's been designing the pretty good cars, for Mercedes. Cool. And we have finally Patty Lowe, somebody who's designing cars for Williams when they were quite good. And he designed active suspension for Williams. And that was super good for Williams. They won the championship. They had that year. And yeah, so let's just see here. Let's get my imaginary envelope. And the Designer of the Year award goes to Adrian Newey of Red Bull, quite obviously. He's designed the Red Bull RB16, so for that reason, he has to win the award. It's obvious, I guess. If it isn't, too bad. But anyways, it is time to go on to the most highly debated, coveted, and interesting topic of F1. And how I know this is because our trophy tier list has over 40 views on YouTube. Our trophy podcast has more listens to than any other podcast. So, hands down, this is the most important award. Forget drivers, forget designers. Trophies at this point are the most important thing in Formula One. So, whoever this trophy goes to, they should feel proud of themselves. Even if they're never going to race, or if their race is never going to be on the calendar again, oof. But let's get on to the nominees. The first nominee, the British Grand Prix trophy. It looks excellent. Lewis Hamilton has won it too many times to count. And it is a trophy that symbolizes Formula One, in essence. The next nomination is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix trophy. Apparently, it's supposed to look like a peregrine falcon. I'm just going to look it up. Let's see here. Abu GP trophy. And let's see here. It does indeed look like a bird. Cool. Anyways, so that is the nomination for that one. And the final nomination is the Imola Grand Prix trophy, which had the little diamond in it to remember Ayrton Senna. So, the winner of this year's Trophy of the Year is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix trophy, mainly because it looks like it cost a couple $1 million to make, but it's also just in general a cool trophy. I mean, it's something, trophies in general, something that not a lot of people are, interested in, but it's quite a cool topic when you think about it. A lot of workmanship goes into these trophies, even though they might look like a Heineken bottle chipped on their side with little things coming out the end of them. But the final award of the evening in this 13-minute live stream, great success. You can tell this has been a great success, is the Driver of the Year award. Now, this takes into account a couple of factors. The first factor is going to be who won the championship. So, obviously, you have Lewis Hamilton nominated for that. But your next factor is going to be, did they take a bad car to good places? So that instantly, it takes Carlos Sainz, a car that, although it isn't bad, it is difficult to drive. Or George Russell, it nominates him. So that is one of the criteria. But the final criteria is, in general, like how the driver has driven this year, point haul, in comparison to their teammate. So how have they done in comparison to their teammate? And because Schaub are not willing to give Lewis Hamilton this trophy, or metaphorical trophy, a lockdown trophy. How can you give anybody a trophy when you're doing a live stream explaining who wins stuff? Anyways, the winner then, because we can't nominate Lewis, or we can't give Lewis Hamilton this, but by that logic, neither can we give it to Max Verstappen. So the winner has to be the wild card, George Russell. And although it says here on my screen that it's Carlos Sainz, and although it says here, it says Carlos Sainz, I'm actually getting yelled at right now. The funnier thing, actually, is that I'm getting texts right now from the co-owner of Technically F1 telling me, you idiot, it's supposed to be Carlos Sainz. No, instead, it is actually going to be today. It is going to be George Russell. So that is that. Anyways, it is time, in that case, to talk about stuff. So, what's going on? What's coming up? In general, we have next week, I'm thinking 2 videos, probably both coming out on either Monday or Tuesday. I can't imagine I'm gonna put them both on the same day. Yeah, I can't, or we'll see. Anyways, clickbaity title for the second one. It is going to be why the Williams is the best Formula One car of the season. Now, I know some people are going to disagree with me, but in essence, it just is the best car this year. It's the easiest and the best to drive, most rewarding. So you shall hear more about that when that video comes out. That's partially filmed. We have next week's podcast, which let me just pull the podcast analytics up. All right, so let me just see this. We have 195 listens overall, which means somebody has listened to the podcast start to finish 195 times. Our analytics on recent podcasts have been really crap. Maybe we just need to make clickbaity titles again. Then again, I think the title Lewis Hamilton has coronavirus has done us well. So we have another podcast coming out next week, and if we can get to 200 overall plays by next week, we shall have a guest on for next week. I'm thinking getting Amar back on because why not? So that's in the works. We'll see about that. Also, it started out as a joke, but it's not really a joke anymore. We're trying to monetize the podcasts. So you see those little green dots? Yeah. So that's actually me trying to monetize them. Although it doesn't look like we're allowed to do that at this point. If we get a sponsor, I'm sorry, the tail end of every podcast, the last 5 minutes will be Shab and I trying to explain why sponsors should, I don't know, why the sponsor is good. If not, lol, we applied for a sponsor about a month ago and we still have nobody interested. Sad but true. Video wise, next week we're also going to be doing a Abu Dhabi Grand Prix interview. If I'm honest, I think it's probably going to be quite boring just because the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is not an interesting race. Then again, though, it'll be important to, like talk about stuff and to say, like end of season, what's going on. So that's mainly what's going on or coming up for that. Over winter, we're 2 options, and those in chat can make their decisions. We could be doing live streams for a while. We could just get into that and say forget the videos. It's sort of like a live podcast, if I'm honest. But I don't think that could. We'll try, but we can't do those every day, not guaranteed. So that'll be sort of like a maybe thing. Live streams. We could just do videos. Maybe. Also I could upload gameplay. I don't think that's I mean, I know there's a new mod, or is it a mod? No, it's a DLC coming out for F1 2020. I could upload that and review that. It's going to be super weird driving the new F2 cars in F1. That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I could be interested in that. Depends on what other people are interested. Eventually, we're gonna get some people, talking about that. But anyways, here, let me just go and put the podcast link in chat. For people watching in post, so they can get that. Yeah, so here's the link to the podcast now, so you can grab that. That's in chat. Cool. Anyways, that should be pretty much it. There are a couple more big announcements. Rashab and I are considering doing model reviews. Now, I know this is really not original and we're not planning to do toy reviews, but there are model Formula One cars. We're both interested in that sort of stuff. Have a couple. He's getting a couple. We could do that. It'll depend. It's sort of hard to judge at this point what everybody's interested in. I mean, we have more subscribers than we do have average views on each video, but it's a funny problem. I don't know. We're gonna see. If we get people explaining what they want, then we'll do that. I mean, there's just so much F1 content you can deliver and not that much time. It's sort of, I mean, if you have another thing we were considering doing, just first of all, was just sort of like over the holiday season, doing like 1 week with full weekly uploads. I mean, it's not going to be sustainable once the like spring semester pops up, but in general, I think it could be doable. We'll see about that. Weekly uploads, that could be cool. But anyways, I think this could probably be the end of this sort of meh 20-minute live stream. For those who like it, we could recreate this thing with Rashad back. F1 awards, that'd be cool. Anyways, yeah, I think that is it. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.